While it may not be the 3D Mario game we were hoping for initially, Super Mario 3D World is a fresh, polished platformer that lives up to the standards set by previous titles. It easily takes the cake as the best Wii U game and arguably makes the Wii U a better choice than the other next-gen options this holiday season. Super Mario 3D World is a near-perfect combination of classic 2D and modern 3D Mario. While the levels themselves are reminiscent of 3D Mario titles, many gameplay elements such as the time limit and flagpole finishes take you back to Mario's golden years. The same style was seen in Super Mario 3D Land and the 3DS, and many worried 3D World would simply be a rehash. While some enemies and encounters may show up again, the overall game is far from a rehash. It feels like an overhauled sequel rather than more of the same. While some of the levels follow the more simplistic design of Super Mario 3D Lands, many of them present new and revamped ideas and gameplay styles. Throughout the regular levels in the game, you'll see most of the environment themes you'd expect, such as snow, desert, and lava. Despite not bringing anything new to the table there, a majority of these levels are great and had clever designs. They keep the game's various power-ups and sometimes even the multiplayer in mind when it comes to each level's design, and this makes it possible to access hidden secrets only with the use of those. I like the overall variety throughout the game's 100 plus levels too. Many levels wouldn't stick to one specific style. For example, one level starts off on a sunny beach where you're hunting for keys, which then transitions into a part where you're riding down an underground floating river on Plessy. I was happy to see that some levels felt a lot more open compared to 3D Land as well, with wide areas to explore. Speedrunners may appreciate the speed levels that start you with only 100 seconds on the clock, forcing you to work fast to find all the green stars and get to the finish. Some of the later levels are actually very challenging, especially if you're attempting to collect everything. For the less skilled gamers out there, Nintendo brought back the white Tanuki suit power-up from 3D Land that allows you to power through the level with ease. This power-up is available once you die at least 5 times. Some may argue that this is a terrible addition, as some younger Mario fans might always go for this rather than trying to improve their game. I don't mind the addition myself, as I feel it gives Nintendo an excuse to make levels that tend to be more for the hardcore gaming crowd. The bosses in the game range from smaller, more mini-boss-like encounters such as Boom Boom from 3D Land returning, to fights with much larger foes reminiscent of bosses from other Mario 3D platformers. While some of these fights have unique design ideas, they're unfortunately a bit too easy. All of the challenge in this game comes from the actual platforming levels rather than the boss fights. Besides the normal levels, they did a great job filling the world map with other challenges and areas as well. Reminiscent of Super Mario Bros. 3, enemies can pop up on the world map, which you can challenge for a reward. In this game, they tend to introduce new enemy types to you that you'll begin seeing in future levels. It was a great idea to do this so gamers would know how to deal with them without having some annoying game-interrupting text to teach you. A returning area type is the mystery boxes, and they have totally revamped them too. Instead of providing a random 10-second challenge, they now provide multiple 10-second challenges one after the other. I loved these as it reminded me of playing WarioWare with short Mario levels. The later mystery box areas in the game can actually be very challenging as well, as they have upwards of 30 challenges in a row that you have to get through without dying. A new type of level they added are the Captain Toad levels. These are very unique levels that have you playing as Captain Toad trying to collect 5 green stars in a small level. Captain Toad cannot jump at all, so you're forced to solve puzzles without that ability. These levels are a great addition to the game as they offer a very different style of gameplay compared to traditional Mario platforming. It would have been awesome if they included a simple level creator for these levels to share with friends though. There are also Toad and Sprixie houses where you can collect power-ups and special stamps in, respectively. The stamps are an extra collectible used strictly in the Miiverse integration of the game. The Miiverse integration is actually quite neat, as I did enjoy seeing people's thoughts in a level after I completed it. While that covers all the area types you can find on the world map, I should also note the world map itself is like a level on its own. Since you have full freedom of movement around in it, you're able to explore and find secrets, unlike the strict paths you had to follow in previous Mario titles. When playing, I'd recommend hunting around these world maps for interactable spots. The controls in the game feel solid as you'd expect from a Mario game. Nintendo has always been great with perfecting the control and feel of 2D and 3D platforming. Sometimes I did misjudge my jumps and end up flying off the level because of some of the camera angles though. One of the prominent features of every Mario game are the power-ups, and there are definitely no shortage of those here. Returning power-ups such as Fire Flower, Super Leaf, and Mega Mushroom are here, but there are also newcomers like the Boomerang Flower, Double Cherry, and Super Bell, which transforms you into Cat Mario, which has been prominently featured as the staple edition of the game. Outside of the regular power-ups, there are also grabbable items such as the Cannon Box and Propeller Box that add even more unique gameplay opportunities. The game features 4 different characters to play as initially. Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Peach each have their own unique, distinct feel with various perks and downsides. Mario is your all-around character, Luigi is a high-jumping, slippery fellow, Toad is a super speedy little guy, and Peach can float temporarily when jumping like in Super Mario Bros. 2. There is also a secret character which you can unlock by progressing past a certain point in the game. The variety of characters in the game makes the game a blast to play in multiplayer mode, since everyone doesn't feel like they're stuck being the same character. Similar to the new Super Mario Bros. Games, Super Mario 3D World has a 4-player co-op mode. In this mode, 4 players can choose between Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Peach and take on any of the game's areas together. The multiplayer feels a lot better and much less clustered in this game compared to new Super Mario Bros. Series. This is thanks to the 3D platforming, because in 2D there just wasn't enough space to work with. The multiplayer in this game is also improved over this because it encourages working together as well as competition. There is a special crown that is rewarded at the end of levels to whoever has the most points. Completing levels while wearing this crown gives bonus points. Other players can attempt to steal it mid-level though. It can be quite funny watching players end up dying while fighting over this crown. While the multiplayer is awesome in this game, it unfortunately is not online enabled, which is a major bummer. Looks like we might be waiting a long time for online Mario, just like we did for HD Mario. Finally seeing Mario on a next-gen console is an awesome thing. Gamers have waited a very long time for this, as the Wii U is Nintendo's first HD console. It is one of the most colorful, vibrant games out there, which is to be expected if you've played previous Mario games. While seeing the game in HD wasn't as exciting as seeing Super Mario 64 the first time or Super Mario World, it's still up there as one of Nintendo's best moments. I was thoroughly impressed with pretty much every aspect of the sound design in this game. The soundtrack is easily one of the best in Nintendo and video game history. Some stages you'll have a jazz band livening up the fun with its upbeat sound, while others such as the haunted house areas will have an airy yet beautiful violin track. Those that prefer more traditional sounding Mario music rather than live recorded will appreciate some of the classic tracks you'll hear throughout the game. It was really awesome hearing classic tunes I haven't heard in a while, such as the character selection theme from Super Mario Bros. 2. The soundtrack overall is on par with the Galaxy game's orchestrated scores, and definitely a triple jump ahead of the last several new Super Mario Bros. Games. While the soundtrack is easily the star here, the sound effects and voice work are stellar too. As usual, you have Charles Martinet on board doing an amazing job bringing Mario and Luigi to life. I loved all the sound effects too, such as the various footstep sounds depending on what the surface is, and the satisfying coin, brick breaking, and Goomba stomping sounds. Super Mario 3D World really surprised me. I initially felt so much disappointment when seeing the game's reveal trailer. As time went on though, I progressively got more excited and had to buy it, and was definitely not disappointed. While I still may put previous 3D Mario entries ahead of it, it's very close behind. There's a tremendous amount of content in the game that will surprise you. Even after you finish the game, there's still quite a few surprises left, which I won't spoil. Nintendo did an impressive job tending to the casual as well as the hardcore too, with the white Tanuki suit that allowed Nintendo to not worry too much about making challenging levels. Between the classic but new gameplay, the awesome soundtrack, and seeing Mario in HD finally, this was a great Mario experience that will go down in gaming history as a classic.